with those who come into your society? Why is the pressure always on us, the problem people? Why don't we say to more white people, integrate better, especially in those areas?
They haven't chosen to move to another country.
And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. Yes, we've got yet another heated debate to react to. I love these things that get hosted on the mainstream media, by the way. They are quite laughable most of the time because they're always bringing someone from the far left that just make an absolute arse of themselves time and time again. So it's there for our entertainment, and we're here to react to this one. I mean, this one's quite laughable in itself. We've got a migrant of some sort, of course, saying that, well, talking about mass migration and all of these kind of things, and she's destroyed on the subject, literally destroyed by the rest of the people on the panel. But then she also goes on and says some ludicrous things about saying that migrants shouldn't have to be integrating into our society within the UK. White Brits should be trying to integrate into their society. Yeah, I know, it doesn't make any sense, but you're going to listen to it. It's a laughable one. But as always, guys, do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's have a little watch of this, then, shall we?
And
we put 250,000 in last year?
The NHS. I mean, you go to the NHS, you are treated by immigrants. So
in certain sectors of places like London, there are mass numbers, but you go to the northeast, you'll still get 87% of people who are indigenous into this country.
It works where there is immigration.
It does require certain elements of immigration, but as we put more immigrants in, it's like a Ponzi scheme. We need more houses, more schools, more hospitals.
I agree with Stephen. We need more houses, more facilities. But this idea that this is a new issue, this is a new panic, this moral panic, as I said, has gone on. Enoch Powell, talking in almost the same terms you're talking about, that having these black people who were Christians, for God's sake, for Christians who were absolutely required to rebuild the country. So I'm tired of... Can I just finish? I did not interrupt you. So try not to interrupt me.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's hear you.
Okay? And, you know, imagine being us. Imagine being all of us, constantly described in terms of a pain, a strain on society, when I have never taken a penny of benefits in all my life. And all the time you have this horrible description of you as a problem.
That is not entirely true. The debate is entirely different now. It's about large-scale numbers than it is. And if you see it that way, as a mixed-race individual, I see that as race baiting. I do not see this debate anywhere the same as it was in the 1950s.
It was the same with the EU people.
It's totally different.
The Brexit... No.
The Brexit argument isn't about anti-Europeans. It's about the numbers in this country and the impact on our services.
I'm sorry.
It's not about colour.
When the Brexit debates over the 5 years, it wasn't about race, it was about those Europeans. They transfer the hatred.
It's not about colour.
So, Emma, as Yasmin said, this is history repeating itself. We've had this before. Surely it's the same sort of thing that we've had before with Enoch Powell, with other waves of migration.
No, I think it's a straw man. I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who says that we don't need any migration, or that we shouldn't have any migration at all. But the point is that we have 9 million people in this country who are out of work, who are of working age. The idea that we can't fill those vacancies with people who are already here, again, it's just aggravating the problem. It's not solving it. It's a sticking plaster. It's using migration as a sticking plaster for all sorts of complex problems that we have in our society, including economically. And this is anecdotal, but I was speaking to a taxi driver the other day who was himself a migrant, who said that his family came here because they wanted to come to Britain, but they no longer feel that cities like London feel like Britain anymore. 1 in 12 people in London...
What do you mean feel like Britain?
Well, 1 in 12 people in London are illegal immigrants. That's a problem.
Can I just pick up, because I think this is a good example of how this debate gets distorted. Emma has taken that figure from a story in The Telegraph last week. Now, that story was a lie. The Telegraph has corrected it, the Times, which repeated, has corrected it, the Sun has corrected it, and the Mail's corrected it. Can I tell you why it's a lie? It's a lie because it had the wrong numbers for London. Wait, let me get on. Wrong numbers for London population. It included people with leave to remain, people who are here legally, perfectly legally, and it included the children of regular migrants, people who were born in this country and never lived here. So I'm going to invite you now. You can go and check those. Do you commit that you will say publicly...
Sorry, I made a mistake. There's 2 lefties on this debate. My goodness me, he's a freak.
That what you said, you were repeating a lie that the Telegraph deliberately deliberately
The Telegraph
stoking
aren't here.
xenophobia.
Those papers aren't here to defend
Well,
themselves in any way.
I can tell you this. It's the correction was printed in the Telegraph yesterday.
Okay.
The
Well,
Telegraph
that's not
lied, and I'm inviting Emma to go and check her figures and then to tweet tomorrow. We know she's on X a lot. To tweet tomorrow, apologising, correcting that lie.
Well, I can look that up, but but
That's not for this
unfortunately.
He's a freak. I mean, he actually probably did his own segment. I was actually focusing on the one on the actual far left there, on the edge of the sofa. But yeah, he's a freak.
Right.
But unfortunately for you, my point is not dependent
Okay,
on
well,
those
let's
statistics.
You
let's talk
stated
about
a
that.
xenophobic lie that was well publicised and has been debunked.
If I can,
Okay.
that's defamatory. If I can very quickly just come back on that. My point is that you will be hard pushed to find somebody who says that we should have zero migration, that no diversity, that we should have no diversity whatsoever. What people are saying is that the speed and pace of migration is bad for this country. It's eroding our cultural cohesion. It is fundamentally something that people have not agreed to. And poll after poll after poll have said that people do not want it, and that matters.
Do you acknowledge that one of those points that Emma made about the fact that it puts the social cohesion, that people coming here
Listen,
in large numbers, so she's talking about large numbers.
So you go to the Red Wall. I go to the Red Wall a lot and argue with people in pubs. I do this as a duty, as a journalist, right? And I ask them, what attempt have you, and these are white people, have you made to integrate with those who come into your society? Why is the pressure always on us, the problem people? Why don't we say to more white people, integrate better, especially in those areas?
They haven't chosen to move to another country.
I don't interrupt you, so don't interrupt me, okay? Why don't we say integration is a dance?
So
you need two people.
You need two people on both sides.
And only one side gets lectured.
That is a fair point, isn't it, Stephen?
No, it's not. It's actually, these people have chosen to come to a different country. And if I chose to go to Spain, I'd want to integrate into Spain. I'd want to learn the language.
But that Brits don't do that.
And just give me the same courtesy that you requested of Robert Jenner. So I'm just turning around and saying that when I went to Portugal, I wanted to integrate with Portugal. I started to learn the language when I was there. I went out with people to show me about their culture, the food, the fadas, the dancing. And that's exactly, it was my choice to go there, my choice to integrate in that culture. It is a responsibility on the individual that goes to a place. You cannot take that responsibility and place it on a different country and say, you change for them. That's unacceptable.
Okay.
I
just want to give Jonathan...
just a slightly different... I mean, integration actually works really well in this country. Look, I've lived all my life in not about a mile and a half north of here, in an area which, when I and my parents moved here when I was 5, was mostly white and much more working class than it is now. Since then, it has changed demographically and in all sorts of other ways, economically, socially. It still is linked, and it's still the same place that I came to. It's still British. Just because a lot of people are from abroad doesn't mean it's still British. And actually, people get on pretty well. And that's how life works in most of Britain now.
And we've sort
Okay there, guys. What did you make of that debate? What did you make of that lunatic lady on the left there saying that outlandish point with regard to integration? Are you on her side, or are you on the other side in terms of the other side of the panel? Do let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.